Mancinima. What I thought we'd do today is I thought we'd have a look at the Indiana Jones movies. There's 5 of them out now, all of them have been released, and of course Dino Destiny was supposed to be the last of the Indiana Jones movies. It's certainly going to be the last one for Harrison Ford. So I thought, yeah, we'd have a look at them, and I'd put them in the order of preference that I've enjoyed them, really, and then relate that back to you. But before we do that, let's do that old routine, shall we? Let's click on the thumbs up button. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, it really does help it out. And also hit the notification bell and you'll know when I've done another one of these videos. Right, without further ado, let's have a look at my top, well, there is only 5 Indiana Jones movies. Let's have a look at what came in at number 5. And so at number 5 we've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, obviously the 5th entry, the latest entry, and the last one to be starring Harrison Ford. Now this isn't in the 5th place because I think it's a terrible movie or that it's the worst movie out of the existing 5. It's just the newest one, you know, and I've not had time to kind of fall in love with it. I've only seen it a couple of times, maybe I'll need to see it a few more times and maybe it will rise up the list. Anyway, you know, Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones, what's not to love? So great stunt sequences in this, some great characters turn up, you know, it's nice to see Sallah turn up again, that was nice. And yeah, you know, full of action, full of the usual Indiana Jones quips, you feel like the character's getting older. I thought the story was maybe a little bit weak, it's not as strong as the ones that came before, maybe not as engaging. There's a lot of people moaning online about Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but I actually enjoyed her. I thought she was good fun. I thought there was probably other characters that could have been brought in for this final adventure. I thought we probably could have seen like a grown-up short round, that would have been really nice. Or maybe a reunion with Willie Scott, maybe like a strange reunion between her and Marion and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, for a final movie, I just kind of wanted a little bit more meat on the bones, if you know what I mean. But that's to say, you know, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was a good, fun adventure. I did enjoy seeing the film again. Like I said, I was a little bit initially disappointed. That's when I did my initial review. I thought, oh, this is a little bit flat. It didn't fall in the same way, and it did. I still think it misses the heart of the Spielberg movies. But, you know, it's entertaining, and it was nice to see Indiana Jones go out on one last adventure. So that's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in place number 5. And in 4th place is the 4th movie, which was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now there's some people online, you know what they are, they're kind of extremists, and they say this shouldn't even be on the list at all, there should only be 3 Indiana Jones films. They're the same people who talk about the Star Wars movies and say there's only 3, so just ignore them. Yeah, so Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I actually enjoyed this movie. I saw this movie quite a few times in the cinema. I don't remember exactly how many times, but I saw it quite a few times. I thought it had a good sense of fun, it had a great opening. Yeah, you know, there's some plot holes with the magnets and things like that in the old Area 51. There's a few good sight gags with the Ark of the Covenant turning up again in that chase sequence. But I thought overall it was pretty good fun. I thought Mutt was okay, probably could have been a little bit better refined. I don't know whether Shia LaBeouf was the best character to play him, maybe they could have got a better actor to play him. And, you know, the scenes that people have trouble with, the monkey swinging scene, didn't bother me that much. You know, nuke the fridge, what else was he going to do? You know, he had to get out of that situation. You know, it's everything in an Indiana Jones film, you've got to kind of expend your disbelief and just take in what's being delivered to you and just go along for the ride and enjoy it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Mac character played by Ray Winston. I'd love to have seen more of him in the movies. Like the John Hurt character, he's a little bit weird, but I'd love to have seen a little bit more of him come back, or, you know, a little bit more expansion on who he was in the Indiana Jones lore. I thought it was a thoroughly enjoyable film, but, you know, we've got 5 Indiana Jones films. There's some that I like better than this one. So here we go, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, number 4. So we've reached the number 3 spot, and this is where things get tricky because people are going to be expecting me to say certain films and they're probably going to be disappointed. But, you know, this is my opinion. Your opinion could be different, that's great. So at number 3, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Again, it's not in the 3rd place because it's the worst one of the trilogy or anything like that. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. You know, Sean Connery brings great character to Henry Jones Sr. And there's some superb moments between him and Harrison Ford. Some superb comedy, fantastic stunt sequences, especially the chase on the tank where they're trying to get his father and Brody out of the tank. Yeah, fantastic villain in Elsa Snyder, who I met a few weeks ago, lovely lady, Alison Doody. And, you know, the villains are great, there's a real strong story in it, and at the end of the movie they ride off into the sunset, which is, you know, I know a lot of people should say that's where Indiana Jones should end, and I kind of agree with them. That was a perfect ending, really. I mean, we didn't really need Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny. I'm glad we've got them. But we didn't really need them, and if you wanted to wrap Indiana Jones up in a bow, that was the way to do it. You know, him, his father, Brody and Sallah riding off into the sunset. Superb film, fantastic action, and yeah, fantastic characterization all the way around, stunts, what can you say? It's a superb Indiana Jones movie. So that is number 3, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And if you thought that movie is going to upset you a little bit, you know, or that entry I should say is going to upset you a little bit, you wait till we get to this one. This is number 2 spot, and this is Raiders of the Lost Ark, the very first Indiana Jones movie. Now, I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, I love all of the Indiana Jones movies, but I love the first 3 movies, and I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's the one that made me fall in love with the character. Fantastic villain in Rene Belloc, played by Paul Freeman. You know, superb supporting cast. You've got Sallah, Brody, of course Marion. Marion's at her best in this movie. She's very feisty and kind of back chatty, and she's an equal to Indiana Jones. And of course, you know, all the stunt set pieces. The truck chase is superb. You've got the horror element as well with the opening of the Ark of the Covenant. And what about Tote as a villain? He was a really nasty piece of work, wasn't he? That guy with the glasses on and the coat hanger when he hangs his coat up and all that business. Old melty face at the end of the film. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I know you're all going to be surprised why I put it in the 2nd place. Again, I think probably that Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and what my number 1 movie is, are interchangeable for me. I mean, I look at them as a whole. I love all of those movies, and some days this will be my favourite, some days that will be my favourite. But the reason I've stuck with my number 1 choice is because it's consistently been my favourite movie, and I'll go into the reasons why in a moment. But for the moment, number 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so we've reached our number 1 spot, and you know, if you know your Indiana Jones films, you already know what this is. My favourite Indiana Jones movie is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I saw this movie 14 times at the cinema when I was a kid. It was a boring summer, there was nothing else to do. Luckily I had friends at the cinema that would just let me in, so I just went day after day after day and went to watch this Indiana Jones movie. I kind of wanted to try to set myself a record for how many times I could see it, but I managed 14 times, which wasn't bad for a kid. I've seen it one more time since, so that's 15 times. So that's 15 times I've seen this movie at the cinema, and I will go and watch it again. So what do I love about this movie? This movie has got a much darker tone than Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I really thought that this is where the sequel should have gone. They should have done the Nazis in the first movie. You got the thuggy cult in this 2nd movie. It's a lot darker. And I would like to have seen Indiana Jones be more of an explorer rather than kind of somebody who's fighting Nazi soldiers every 5 minutes. They seem to repeat the formula as the movies went on, and that got a little bit boring. So yeah, I really enjoyed Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. There's people out there who rank this really low in their rankings because they do just like the whole Nazi chase kind of business, and they want a repeat of Raiders, which is kind of what you got with Last Crusade, which is why Last Crusade ranks at number 3 with me. So yeah, I enjoyed Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Like I say, I love that much darker feel. I'd love to have seen much more of the different kind of artefacts that Indiana Jones would have gone after, and I think this gave us a flavour of that. You've got that fantastic sequence on the bridge at the end. We've got Mola Ram on one end, and you've got Indy and his group in the middle, and Indy ties himself to the bridge and then cuts the bridge in half and it all falls down, and there's the battle to get the Shankara stones. Superb performances by Ke Huy Quan, if that's how you pronounce his name, I do apologise, as Short Round, of course. A lot of people don't like Willie Scott. I don't mind Willie Scott. I think she's pretty good. I think she's a good feisty character. Different from Marion. It had to be different from Marion again, otherwise you're just cloning the first movie. And yeah, there's just so much to love about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The mine chase, you know, Indy gets infected with the blood of Kali, so he becomes evil for a little while until Short Round breaks him out of it. You've also got that horrifying sequence where you've got the people being sent down into the fiery pits, which is what some people are going to do to me. They're going to say, how did you put that at number 1? I'm going to send you down into a fiery pit. And then they have their hearts grabbed out by Mola Ram and held, up to the camera, the beating heart. There's just so much to love about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And yeah, like I say, I kind of wish that the series had gone in, not, again, I don't want a clone of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom for the 3rd movie, but I wanted something different, but showing Indiana Jones's kind of exploits as an adventurer, as an archaeologist, taking him off into different realms. So maybe there could have been different things that we could have seen. But they went back to formula with Last Crusade because people liked Raiders. They didn't really like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom so much. So yes, I've got here my old VHS copy. I'll just show that up there to you. I hope you can see that. There's a little bit of sun glare on there for you, which I've had for years. I do actually have all 3 of them on VHS, and there's the tape inside. So yeah, there you go. That's my number 1 Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I hope you've enjoyed this countdown. If you want me to do any more in the future, if there's any other films that you want me to rank, I think Mission Impossible might be a bit long, don't you? 7 movies? Are we going to fit that in the time frame? If you want me to rank the Mission Impossible movies, just tell me and I'll do that. I may have to shorten the little explanations in between, but if you want me to do that, I'll do that. Or if there's any other movies you'd like me to take a look at and see what my personal feelings are and where I would rank them, please let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, thank you for watching this one. You know what to do. Click on the thumbs up button. Really does help the channel out. Encourages me to want to do more of these videos. Hit the notification bell, because the notification bell will let you know when I've done another one. If you are brand new to the channel, and only if you're brand new to the channel, and if you've enjoyed the content, please subscribe. All of this doesn't cost a penny. All you have to do is click certain buttons on your YouTube channel, and then you're set up. You're good to go. Thank you once again for watching this one. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will be back with another video very soon. Take care.